The man was amazed to discover, across the desolate canyon, stood a beautiful woman. Even with a distance of 1,000 meters, her perfect figure remained strikingly noticeable. She wanted to look a bit longer, but the beauty seemed to sense her presence, and immediately stopped her work to turn and look this way. It was a breathtaking face. Yet the man's gaze instinctively darted away, because someone had once told her to ignore anything happening on the opposite side, and especially not to attempt any communication. This was a watchtower built at the edge of the canyon, and the man was the new guardian here. But strangely, despite the vast surroundings, there was only an automatic dense artillery platform, and a satellite receiver every 1,000 meters connected to the outside. Within the canyon, every 10 meters, there was a gigantic suspended landmine, which seemed more like a display, as if guarding against something. The previous guardian had told her that the task here was very simple, simply like being a highly skilled maintenance worker. All that needed to be done each day was check the equipment and refill the ammo, just survive the year, and the next guardian would come to take over. The man was puzzled. Before coming, her superiors had informed her that this was a very important task, and she had been sedated on the way, parachuting directly into this canyon, but now she didn't even know what the objective of the task was. Was it to prevent anyone from entering the canyon?
No, you need to stop what's in the gorge from coming out.
The previous guardian had mysteriously told her it was to prevent whatever was inside the canyon from escaping. This left the man even more baffled. What could possibly be in this empty canyon? By the next day, the term completed Xiaohong was informed by her superiors that she could go home. After trekking dozens of kilometers, she reached a mountaintop, threw down a smoke bomb, and called for her comrades to come to her aid. Soon, a rope was thrown down. Xiaohong hooked it to herself and then departed. However, just 1 second before boarding the helicopter, a comrade pulled a gun on her and shot Xiaohong dead, then cut the rope and threw her down. After finishing, they reported to their superiors.
Station complete.
Copy that.
Meanwhile, the man began her new day's work, patrolling the territory, checking the equipment. It certainly seemed, as the previous guardian had said, that this was super simple maintenance work, even more monotonous than imagined. After working for 30 days, the man reported her work progress to the military as required. This was the second voice she heard since arriving at the canyon. And being quite curious about this job, she couldn't help but ask a question. But the other side didn't respond, and hung up the call directly, as if purposely hiding something. Feeling bored, she recalled Xiaohong's warning, which was to not attempt to spy on the opposite watchtower. But the more she was discouraged, the more curious she became. So she couldn't help but look over with binoculars. But what she didn't expect was that the other side seemed no different. The only difference was that the guardian of the opposite watchtower was actually a beauty, and she too seemed curious about what was going on over here. More surprisingly, this beauty actively contacted her. The beauty was clever, using gunshots to draw the man's attention. When she stepped outside and looked through the binoculars, the beauty wrote what she wanted to say in a notebook. Since they were too far apart, this was their only way of communicating. The first thing the beauty wrote was to ask for the man's name. Moments later, the man replied using the same method. However, she remembered Xiaohong's warning, so she wrote on the board that she refused to answer the question, thinking this would end their conversation. Little did she know, the beauty quickly replied again. The beauty's playful cuteness brought a smile to the man. So she rewrote what she wanted to say on the board and filled her cup with wine, wishing the woman a happy birthday. It was this sentence that completely closed the distance between two strangers. The beauty took out a disc and turned off the music, just as the two were having a great time. It seemed a commotion arose in the canyon. It seems that a battle has arisen in the canyon. The man instantly raised his rifle and looked down, only to discover a terrifying thing he'd never seen before.